Hey guys, I'm Doctor McFarland, and thanks for checking out the live stream. What we're going to do tonight is look at what makes a metal tone and kind of dive into different elements of the signal path and see where we can, find some aggressive type tones, find some leads, find some rhythm type stuff, and just give you a good basis for all things metal. So, if you don't know anything about me, I'm Dr. McFarland. I'm a producer, teacher, and tone crafter right here out of Nashville, Tennessee. And behind me is a faux brick wall because I am in a bonus area of a house we recently moved into. And we recently closed on our previous house, which is great because now I can begin building my new studio, which is going to be in a bonus room of a detached garage. So up until we get everything ready to be revealed, I will be sitting in front of a faux brick wall, and then I'll give you different updates on the studio build as time goes on. So be sure to subscribe down below and click the bell, and let me know if you hear the audio just fine. The video looks good to you guys. Looks fine to me, but I just want to make sure in case I need to tweak something. Okay. Let me actually turn up the microphone a little bit here. Check, check, check. Should be pretty good. So what we're going to do is just, like I said, we're going to dive into some different elements here. So picking an amplifier for metal is there's a few things you got to consider. So, I guess you could show up to a gig with a Fender Twin and maybe a Boss Metal Zone. and that could be your metal tone. There's nothing wrong with that, because I mean the metal zone should be fairly decent. You know, it has a sweepable mid-range, parametric mid-range option, so you can really dive in. You know, just adjust the overall mid-range of your sound. You can get some low-end thump. You can get some high-end bite. You know, that's perfectly awesome if you're just a guy that has a nice clean tone, maybe from your amp, and you like using pedals to get a wide array of sounds, whether that's from blues to rock to metal, then I would assume that you have certain pedals on your board that, you know, just lend you those kind of sounds. Let me look at some stuff here. Let me turn up my headphones a little bit. Check. There we go. It looks good. Turn this up. Turn this up overall. All right, good. Just want to make sure I hear myself okay. So the intro there, I started off with a tread plate modern, which is basically a dual rec or any of the rec series from Mesa Boogie. You see all kinds of bands with the rec type amps, and as REC, not WRECK. Okay. And just checking the comments here. What's going on? Francis, he says the audio and video are okay here, so that's good. Now, I did see somebody in the group in the forum. They were asking about possibly adding extra parameters, similar to what you see in like maybe a Line 6 Helix or something like that. And I kind of get where he's coming from. There's, you know, you kind of get what you get with these headrush amp models. But to me, I think that's all you need, really. If you can't get a good sound between what is provided with you or for you, then, you know, requesting other parameters may not be, you know, what you want to go with. So let's just experiment with the gain here on this amp. Let's turn it down fairly low. You can hear we still have a lot of girth, a lot of grit in there. Let me take off the delay and reverb. Okay. Now I want to focus on the gain real fast, because just because you turn up the gain doesn't mean it's going to make it that more awesome. Okay. So for example, there's going to be a sweet spot in any amp there that when you have it set to like a low setting, you still have a lot of gain, but when you turn it up, you know, exponentially to like 50%, 60%, you're not really getting that much more gain, but you're just adding more noise. So I want to really be wary of just like, you know, cranking the gain up all the way and then not having the clarity of the sound that you want. So okay, so that's a lot of gain right there, but to me it made it sound more flubby. You know, more loose in the bottom end there. So some amp circuits allow you to, when you crank the mid-range, it actually adds more gain. I'm not sure if the tread plate is has that kind of functionality in it, but let's just test it out, see what happens with the mid-range. Okay, not bad. Let's see what happens if we scoop it. Okay, let's crank it up. I think in this situation it does sound good. Let's go ahead and bring the bass down just a smidge. Okay, and let's see what happens if we bring the bass up, or the treble up a little bit. Okay. That's pretty good. I am going to be turning off this screen when I make certain adjustments because this is in beta mode. I have not gone to a public appropriate version, so I don't want you to see anything that you shouldn't be seeing. I'm going to be adding some overdrives here. Okay. And then I'll turn it back on here in a second. And I'll show you what I've done. So we're going to add a little... let's add the K drive in here. And then we'll do one more. We'll do some experimenting to see how certain boosts affect the front end. Okay. And we'll do the MX drive, which is something that was in the 2.3 update. I can't remember. I don't remember this stuff. But we do have a delay and we have a reverb. And that's good enough for now. Okay, I'm back on. I'm back, folks. Okay. Now, while I'm doing all this, be sure to leave a comment in the chat box and just ask me kind of questions that you may have about the topic pertaining in this, video. If you want to ask me anything, that's totally fine. I don't mind going off topic too much. But yeah, anything about Headrush, go ahead and ask and I'll address it while we're just having fun. Okay, we got 8 people watching so far. And Francis has said hello. So hello, Francis. All right. Now, those amp adjustments, I was basing all of that on what I was hearing through the cab. Okay. And I'm not going to go into IRs tonight. Because that's a whole nother rabbit trail. But I do feel like that the stock cabs that come with the Headrush are, do give you lots of options just right in the box without having to add anything extra. Okay. Now, for instance, we're on a 57 microphone. And if you know a 57, which I unfortunately do not have one here in front of me, but look up SM57 on the internet and you'll see that it's just your run-of-the-mill skinny microphone. It's got about a quarter size, maybe $50 size capsule on it. And you see them all the time stuck in front of guitar cabs, snare drums. Even watching the Beatles Get Back documentary, they have some kind of SM57-esque type microphone on their voice as certain elements throughout the documentary, not all the time. But it's just a very common microphone. So this is what it is off axis. Then I'm going to flip it on axis. You can hear how the sound changes. So okay, and here's on axis. Okay, so notice that the off axis is always going to have more bottom end. Just because it's not, the mic isn't pointing right at the speaker, it is off axis. So it's pointing more toward the bass response side of the speaker versus the cone, which is going to give you the most amount of treble and just high end information. Okay. Now, what I can do here is, let me pull up something to record with, and I'm going to show you how you can stack sounds and make it just sound thicker overall. Because everything in isolation is not really the true context of what you're going to be hearing in a full band situation. And I ate some Oreo cookies earlier, so excuse me if I release some gases out of my mouth. That was weird. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for grossing you out. I'm gonna open up Mixbus right now, and it's gonna pull this over here. Let's go ahead and add 2 tracks, and I'll probably go ahead and add a MIDI track, and let's see what happens if we do a little easy drummer. 32 outs. Let's not do 32 outs. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Add. We're going to fan out. Let's do automatic. Okay. Oh, I see what it did. Wow. Yeah. All right, I'll delete this track here. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but go ahead and ask your questions, okay? Because I'm going to be pulling in some... I'm going to pull in a drum track here. And I do have some metal stuff. So, for instance... All right, let's try and find it like a regular beat. Okay, that one's just crazy enough to work. Just crazy enough to work. All right, so let's duplicate this out a little bit. And then let's arm this first track. We're going to call it Guitar 1. And I'm sorry for not setting this up earlier, but I'm really just flying by the seat of my pants here. So my inputs, and this is a good primer for anyone who's recording anyways. So inputs 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm in 5. Yep, there we go. And let me go to my Focusrite control. I'm going to bring down the playback in the headphones here. Let's see what happens. Ah, here we go. I'm going to come up with a really easy riff to do first, just so I can stack things appropriately. Of course, none of this was... I know what I'm doing, folks. I'm a professional, okay? I'm a professional. I'm just going to get this on the grid here so I can start accordingly. All right, here we go. So I'm going to do like a... All right, that's pretty good. Then I can just loop that a little bit once it gets into the DAW, the do. All right, here we go. Put on metronome. Ready? 1, 2. Whoa, super cool. All right, so that was option number 1. Let's go over to this other track. Let's arm it. Let's put it on input 5, which is what my my gig board is going into the line inputs on the back of this Focusrite Scarlett 18i8. I did get this from Sweetwater, and I'm going to be doing some videos with the Scarlett. So if you're interested in recording stuff, be sure to check out my Sweetwater affiliate links in the description, and you can click on recording studio. You can find all my recommended gear for your next studio purchase. So if you want to help support the channel in that way, I greatly appreciate it, and just check out those links. Now let's go ahead and see if I can play exactly what I did last time, but this time we're going to do the off-axis version of this tone. Okay, and we're going to do some 2 measures of pre-roll, and here we go. A 1, a 2, a ready, go. Okay, not too bad. Let's do something like that. Let's delete the ends of those. And let's go ahead and copy this out a few times. I'm going to pan this left and right so you can really hear what each side is doing. Okay, let's play it with the guitars first, and then I'll play it with the drums. Here we go. I kind of played the second one a little different there. All right, let's put the drums back in. All right, great. What I'm going to do now is just go ahead and let's change the playlist of this thing. And we're going to make a new playlist for this track. Okay, we're going to call this, let's call this, that was a classic 30 watt. Let's go to a 65 watt now. Okay. So 65W, and that works for that. So now I'm going to keep the the right channel the same, and I'm going to change to a different cab altogether. Let's put that off axis. And now we're going to see what happens when we just change the cab. Okay. I think that's what I was on before. Let's see what a 30 watt looks like. Heck, I don't know. No, this is good. Yeah, because that has the duct tape around the square. All right, here we go. Let's try this out. See what happens. I'm going to turn that up a little bit more. You can hear that sounds different already, right? So, metronome on. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a ready, go. I feel like I don't remember what I even played. I keep changing the rhythm and stuff, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm going to duplicate this out. All right. So here we go. Let's listen to it without the drums, and then we're going to listen to it with the drums. That is not how you want to record, folks. You want to make sure you play the same part, at least. which I'm totally not doing. I might redo this. Let's make a new playlist, and let's call this green 25 watt. Okay, the green 25 watt. And then this side, let's make this one a let's call it a B30 cab. Okay, we'll experiment with that one. So first of all, let's go down to a green 25 watt. We're going to keep it on 57. Let's put it on axis this time. Let's listen to the tone. So this one definitely has a different, like a hollow mid-range kind of sound. All right, that's what I'm doing from now on until someone tells me not to. Here we go. Let's record it. Then we'll go back and listen. A 1, a 2, ready, go. Cool. I feel like my my recorded volume is not as loud, which is fine. I'll bring up the trim. How about that? I'll bring it up about 6 dB, so that way on the playback it is louder. Okay, let's go over to our other option here. And we're going to do a B30 with a 57 on axis. Let's hear how this sounds. See, already that has more mid-range. So it's just crazy all the different types of sounds you can get just by changing the cab alone. You know, not even mentioning like different pedals and different amps or whatnot. So we're just kind of picking one amp and changing all the different cab combinations. And that seems to work pretty good. So let's go here. And here we go. A 1, 2, ready, go. All right, let's edit the ends of these here. Yes, like that. And let's duplicate it out. All right, there we go. Let's listen without the drums first, and then we'll listen with the drums. How about that? This is the B30. And this is the 25 watt. It's interesting how your ears perceive the sound when you're so used to hearing it a certain way, and then you kind of A/B back and forth between different sounds that you have. The first sound, the 25 watt, sounded very strange to me at first, but now that I hear it in context with the B30, it's you know, it's pretty good amp, or just a good sound overall. So let's hear with everything now. Okay, I'm gonna grab my bass real fast. Uh-oh. Something happened. Oh, I think the drums. I think it's the drums. Let me fix that real fast. The ends of the drums didn't match up with the grid. So therefore, when I duplicated it out, it didn't work. So let me pull this out a little bit. There we go. And the beginning of it is correct. All right. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Bow. All right, let's go to a, we're going to call this, hello, molten metal. Okay, that's fine. Let's go to our bass tones here. Oh, hello. Sorry. Man, I burped again. I'm really embarrassed. Really embarrassed. Let me tune real fast. And make sure everything looks okay. I'm not a fan of this bass tone. It needs to be simpler. All right, let's see what happens if we do that. Let's throw in a bass track here. This is going to be audio. It's going to be just one. And let me know in the comments what kind of DAW you guys use. I currently work for Harrison Consoles, so therefore I'm kind of used to using Mixbus. But I've used Reaper over the years and all kinds of stuff. Oh, I'm about to let her rip, Kevin. I'm going to rip myself a new one here. I don't know about that. Okay. Let's try it out. Let's try it out. Got to try on the metronome. Here we go. 1, 2, ready. Okay, I see what I need to do. I need to go. Okay, or do like the octave up. Okay, cool. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, that's good. I will duplicate it. Let's duplicate these drums. Like so. Actually, sorry, let's do this one more time. Make sure I get it right. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay. Still feel like the drums are off. Why? But why would they be off? Nobody knows. Okay. Okay, put that off there. There's that. Let's duplicate it out. Bam, bam. All right, here we go with the full mix with bass. Yeah. Let's go to these getters here. It's very strange. Very strange. Because I basically was playing to something that was slightly off. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to duplicate these out. D's out right here. I know you can't see what I'm doing. I could probably change that, but it'll be fine. Charlie's using Ableton. That's great. Pretty much any DAW you choose these days, I mean, it will work just fine for capturing audio. That's another thing looking at these the Beatles documentary is just the, I mean, they had to really be inventive with what they were using back then because they just didn't have a lot, you know. 4-track recorders, 8-track recorders, like an 8-channel mixing board. I mean, it's just crazy how they did everything. Let's listen to this now. Wow. Pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Hello. Search. Whenever you need to find a rig, you can just use the magnifying glass. Start typing in your... Oh, I'm on set list. Sorry. I need to be under all rigs. And then go to that, and then Molten Metal. Hello. There we are. All right, let's start experimenting a little bit with different overdrives. Now, I don't know what you think about that tone, but I'm fairly certain that if you're playing by yourself, whether in your studio or your living room or just a practice space, you're probably thinking, man, that sounds really thin and it's not going to sound good in a full band mix. I just didn't have like the oomph. Now, one thing to consider when you're building these rigs is you do not, you know, whether you're listening in headphones or maybe a FR 108 or a 112 headrush speaker, or any kind of other powered speaker or studio monitors or whatever you're listening through, it's not going to be the exact same experience as having like an actual dual rec here in the room with you with maybe a 4x12 cab or a 2x12 cab or whatever. What you're listening to is basically the sound of an amp in a room with a mic in front of it, and now you're listening to the recorded sound back through powered speakers, your headphones, your studio monitors, Apple AirBuds. No, you can't listen to that. So just know with any modeler, I mean, you're going to get close. I mean, you're going to get great sounds. This is why I'm recording the tones, because it is a recorded tone that you're creating. You're not creating an amp in a room type experience. It's just not going to be like that. Now you can use a power amp and a speaker, like a tube power amp, you know, like the orange pedal baby. I don't know. There's all kinds of like there's all kinds of power amps for guitar players nowadays that still want to use their modeling, but have the experience of like, you know, air pushing through an actual guitar speaker or guitar cab. and not a flat range full response type cab, which may not give you the same results. So just keep that in mind when you're building these rigs. I think that sounds good. And let's listen to it one more time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're getting mean. Bow. Okay, so the consensus for DAWs is Reaper, Ableton, and Studio One. Very cool. No Pro Tools guys, huh? I see how it is. All right, so that sounds good. Let's go ahead and see what a tube screamer will now do to this sound. So let's turn it off. Okay, let me make a playlist here for number 2. We're going to call this B30 TS for Tube Screamer. Okay, let me go ahead and record with the Tube Screamer on, and let's listen to the difference in sound. Okay, here we go. Yep. A 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I forgot what I was doing. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that works for that. Let's go ahead and cut off the end there. We'll duplicate it out like so. All right, let's listen. Okay, that's good. I probably should have done this. So let me, through the magic of editing, I'm going to make a new playlist here. Actually, no, I can do this. Check this out. I'm going to go to advanced. I'm going to steal from Guitar 2 and this BS. So I just do it. I don't know if I did it. Yeah, I did. Cool. So now what we're hearing is a Tube Screamer on one side with the same B30 cab, and then a non-Tube Screamer on the other side. So let's listen to the non first. And here comes the Tube Screamer on the other side. Listen for the low end here, okay? John using Logic, very cool. So what you're hearing there is a little bit more, it's a tighter low end and more mid-range bark and bite, just on the upper mids. Wherever frequencies the Tube Screamer pushes, that's what's pushing the front end of that amp. So let's go with the full band now. boy. All right. I think we're good for that amp for now. Let's rename this rig Molten Metal Mesa. And now we're going to save as a new rig Molten Metal. And what's an amp? What's an amp we can do? There's Bogner's, there's Soldano's. Let's do the PV5150. Let's do that one. PV51. Okay, very cool. Let's turn this off so I protect the innocent. Protect the innocent. I'm ridiculous. Let's do the crunch channel on this. Okay. I'm back. And let's make a playlist here. New playlist. We're going to call this PV51. And let's keep the cab that we have, which is the Classic 30. But this time, let's switch it over to a 409 microphone. And let's see what that does. Okay. So this is a 30 watt 409. And making new playlists just helps me to name each take, and I can better figure it out. So I'm gonna keep that Mesa on the right side, but I'm gonna change to a totally different head and cab and microphone, and we're gonna hear the difference here. So already that has a different just bark overall. So this would be interesting to hear. Let's see if this is... Okay, let's check it out. Let's see what happens. Here we go. I want to ready go. Okay, it works for that. Let's edit the end and we'll duplicate it out. All right, so let's listen to what we got. Okay. Okay, that's the PV. Where do I have this on? I feel like I have it on exclusive. Yeah, I do have it on exclusive solo. So that's why it's flipping back and forth like that. All right, that's fine. Here we go. Okay. Now we're going to take this another step farther here, and we're going to save his new rig. Molten Metal Split. Okay. And we're going to change the routing of our rig here. So what we're going to do is something very interesting. Let's put the cab at the end. Yeah, actually, no. Sorry, we're going to do this. Let's do that with our wet effects after the amps. And now we're going to add a new amp here. And let's turn this off. Keep forgetting. I'm going to get in trouble. Nathan, you showed everybody what the new amps are. Yeah, I did not. PV. Tread plate. Let's do an M2. That's a very stark difference in sound. Let's go back to this B30 here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure these are panned hard left and right. Okay. So we're going to go to our mix here in the middle. And we're going to pan like that. Okay. See how that works? Let's see what happens. Now, I don't think I'm hearing the panning in my ears. So let me make sure I fix that. How do I fix that? I should be hearing it. There we go. I'm hearing it now. Alright, so what we just did, and we can always tweak the output gain of these cabs to adjust and kind of help balance out the volume between different amps. Got a text message there. Let's check the comments here real fast. John's using Logic. Alright, very good. So we're taking the same concept of recording two different tones, one for the left and one for the right, and now we're going to make it to where we can utilize those tones in a live environment. So maybe you're the only guitar player or the only rhythm player and you want a very wide and distinct sound. This is a good way to get that by using two different heads, two different cabs. And you can even do the ×2 type thing. And you can double up the cab on each side. So you can get really crazy doing that kind of stuff. But let's save that for the next rig. We'll make this one nice and simple, okay? All right, I think it sounds pretty good. Now, the Mesa 2 lead, the M2 lead, definitely is a scooped type sound. So if I can bring the mids up on that. The thing you want to concentrate on when messing with the amp itself is find the tone that you like and then adjust the overall volume either in the rig. But since we're using two amp heads in this rig, we really just need to do it by adjusting the output gain of our cab, okay? And if you're using impulse responses, then you can use the gain of the impulse response to change the overall volume. Not gain, but the volume of the input impulse response, sorry. Here we go. So all right, let's go back to our DAW, and I'm going to create a stereo channel, and we're going to put this after the selection. So now I can go in and check. I can assign my inputs to 5 and 6. Like so. And I'm going to mute these other guitar tracks. And let's go ahead and record this new track here, the split track. So we're just going to call this split in the DAW, in Ableton and Reaper, in Logic, whatever you use. This all applies across the board here. Okay, here we go. Turn on my metronome. 1, 2, ready. Okay, very good. Let's edit that point right there. And let's duplicate it out like so. Okay, this is a new track, and I turn the trim up on the other one, so let's do the same for these. Now I could have 2 mono tracks and have each one assigned to a different input. Then I'd really have more flexibility on how I, balanced the 2 different tones. Do I want to do that? Because otherwise you'd have to go in here, and make sure like you adjust the output gain. And since we are panning, one hard right and one hard left, we're really getting a true, stereo separation there. So, let's see what would happen if we just turn on some reverb. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Let's make a new playlist for these suckers. And on this one, okay, I'm going to reassign the inputs here. So one's going to be 5 and the other's going to be 6. So I'm going stereo. Okay, this is going to be our lead track. Okay, once I get it recorded in, I can always adjust things. So let's try it out. Let's put some delay on here. Now, I hope you see and hope you notice so far, I haven't done anything like totally crazy. It's like, oh, he's doing all these weird parameter stuff. That's why all his rigs sound great. No, I'm literally just dropping them in, hardly adjusting the amps at all, changing the mic type in on-off axis, and just layering sounds. That's all I'm doing. So if I can do it, you can do it. All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready. All right, I'm sure that was fun. Let's listen to it. Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. All right, I just named that guitar lead. Let's do a new playlist for record arm tracks now, because I have these 2 recorded. And let's switch up the amps. Okay. Just for fun, let me hide what I'm doing. I'm hiding. We're going to do a Bogner red, which is cool. And the right side is going to be now for something totally different. Let's do a Lead 800 base mod. Yeah, we'll turn the gain down a little bit on that. And turn this back on so you can see what's up. Maybe bring up the treble. Bring the bass down just a smidge. All right. So we have a Bogner red with a B30 condenser 67 on there. Okay. And then on this one, we got a 25 watt greenback with a condenser 67. Let's change. Let's keep the mic the same on this. And let's just see what kind of sound we got. So it's dark on the left ear and bright on the right ear. Which is kind of what you want, right? Alright, let's change our delay a little bit. Okay. All right, this is going to be lead 2. And I'm going to change the name. Save new rig. Molten split. Yeah, I'll name it Molten Split 2. Version 2. Alright, there's a. Let's not do it with the green tube screamer just yet. Let's check the comments here. Hey Doc, when my gate kicks in, I get an awful decay sound when using the high gain. Any tips? Let's look at the gate real fast. Okay. Notice by default the line is right in the middle. You usually want the gain threshold down, a little bit lower. That way it doesn't cut out. Let's go to global settings. Let's make sure the brightness is down so you can see it a little bit better on the screen. And then the noise filter, I like putting that up. Like if you have a really, really noisy sound, bring the noise filter up a little bit. And it just helps to clean up all that stuff pretty good. So that looks good. I got some smudges on my screen though. Let's look at this next one. Could you please demonstrate the drop pedal in front? It's the one feature I need to be sure of before downgrading from an LT. Yeah, I understand. All right, I can do that. Let's take away these other pedals. I just need the tube screamer really for what I do. All right, let me go ahead and record this solo real fast, and then I'll show you the drop tune and show you how I use it soloing as well. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready. Cool. That was good. So the tones we have are the red, the Bogner, and the Marshall. Let's check this out. Like that. This is a great sound. Oh, I see why I couldn't change it. Because it was such a recorded tracks. Duh, I knew that. Why didn't it do both of them, though? Maybe because I didn't record them. No, I did it. Or did it? For guitar 2. Play this for guitar 2. Alright, I'm not too worried about it. I like that sound. Thanks, Toms. Alright, so drop tune central. Let's turn off my screen. Drop tune. That's under modulation and drop tune. Alright, so if I go down 1, instead of being in E, I'm going to be in E flat, which means I need to move up a half step when I actually play, because I played all this in the key of E. So I'm going to be playing in F, but you're going to be hearing it. No, I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to play in F, but you're going to hear it in E. Okay. So. I hope you don't hear my. Let me mute my microphone here. Check. All right, I'm gonna mute this so you don't hear my guitar strings at the same time I'm playing the drop tune stuff. Okay. All right, so I have it down to semitones, which means now I'm going to play in the key of F sharp instead of the key of E. So check this out. I'm going to mute my mic so you don't hear my guitar strings at the same time. Okay? Oh my gosh. Check, check, check. Sorry, I don't know how I did that. I think yeah, I muted myself on the loop, but not on my headphones. All right, sorry about that. I'm back. I won't mute anything anymore. Is this the dreaded minute of rain silence? Yes, it is. All right, let me recap all that crap I just said. So this to give you the 1 minute rundown. The drop tune does change your tone. It does. Okay, we just listened back to the two different guitar parts there. The solos. One was in E, which sounded brighter, and one was in F sharp. But that's only because I had to play it up 2 semitones because we dropped it down using the drop tune pedal. So, drop tune does darken your sound because you're lowering the pitch. Sorry about that. I was hoping I wouldn't be. Yeah, I'm not that mad. I just repeated all of it in like 30 seconds. All right, there we go. I'm back. So let's take off the drop tune now. So really the key to all this is to get a great metal sound, especially if you're in a band with somebody else. You need to have your own distinct sound that's different from your other guitar player, and that's how you're going to get the biggest metal, just any sound really, whether you're playing country or rock or metal or blues or jazz. Well, maybe not jazz, but because most of the time it's just you playing solo guitar with maybe a bassist and a drummer and maybe a keyboard player, right? But if you're in any kind of rock band scenario that has more than one guitar, you're going to want to have different sounds overall. And that's just going to get you really far down the road. So I hope you can see that we hadn't used any special tricks. No, we hadn't used any IRs, which there's nothing against IRs. I have my own IR pack through Sonic DNA. Thank you, Greg Barks, for that. And I do have a link for those IRs down in the description. This real fast. Let's do save new rig. And we're going to do a Molten Split 2. Sorry. We're going to do a Molten Split 3. There we go. All right. I'm going to delete this cab, delete this cab. Let's bring in an IR. And we're going to go to I don't think I have my Sonic DNA stuff on here. User. Yeah, I don't have it because I wiped my gig board. I backed it up, but I wiped it. So, just for instance, let's use a tread 4x12, and let's use a 121 balanced on one side. Then on the other, I'm just going to show you we can do the same kind of thing here. Let's do a tangerine, just totally different. And we're going to do a balanced 57 on that side. So let's listen to this tone. Ooh, hey thou. Now, the gain, I like to keep my RR gain about 12 to 10 or so. And let's bring that down like that. Just a little bit on both. All right, let's go here. Let's make one more playlist for record on tracks. And this is going to be IR. I feel really bad about muting my mic. Sorry about that. Go to your room. I'm in my room. You have to tweak it. But they do work. Oh, I see. Well, sorry, Greg. I don't have your IRs on this gig board. I need to back them up again, but let's listen to overall sound here. So let's do a little soloing. And then we'll listen back, okay? Yeah, that was pretty cool. Let's listen to it in context. So that one's dark. That one's a little bit brighter. But it's brighter because we used a different I used a different microphone. Remember, the left side was the 121, which is a dark ribbon mic, and then the right side was a 57, which is just a brighter mic overall. So, but when you combine the two together, now what I just did right there, I'm going to EQ this a little bit to make it brighter in the mix. Maybe add back some bite in the 1K to 2K range. Like so. Right. So essentially what I would be doing with my own IR pack was I would choose the mic and the speaker that I wanted, and make sure I have two different ones on the other side. Because I even have the some of the IRs in my pack have the two speakers and two different microphone options, which is really cool. So you could have a drastic sound on one side, a drastic sound on the other. Then when you combine them together, they just make for a really wide sound there. So make sure you check out sonicdna.com for all your IR needs. But for now, I think this is a good way to just experiment and show the different options you can get with stock cabs and just changing the microphone. And that will better prepare you for when you do get IRs, and you kind of can hone in on the sound that you want a little bit quicker. Okay. Let's listen to what we have now with the new mix with a little brighter left side. All right, great. I'm actually going to save this session and call it Molten Metal. All right, so I'm gonna start wrapping this thing up here. I've been going for about an hour and a half, which is perfectly acceptable for YouTube standards. I don't know what I'm talking about. If you notice my website here lately, I have switched over from WordPress and using Lifter LMS to create all my courses and host the web page. I have now switched over to Podia.com, which is a very, very, it's a great way to save money and also create courses and file downloads. I think Greg from Sonic DNA would probably benefit from Podia.com. Just in the way you can categorize all your products and different stuff. Anyway, so what you'll see when you go to my website is a new look, new design, and it's really all geared toward the Ultimate Access Bundle, which is a one-time payment, and you get everything for life. Every single course I ever come out with, all that stuff. It is priced accordingly, but I think when you think about the savings you get over the lifetime of accessing it, then you're like, oh, it's a great price. But just want to let you know that the headrest tone sculpting that I had for a few months there, that you could download rigs for free, I have made that a one-time $20 purchase. That just goes to help, support the channel, support, my work here in the studio, and continue to teach you guys through video and through my website. And that's why I'm the Doctor of Rock. That's because I'm a teacher, a tone crafter, and a producer. And I do teach private lessons here in my home. I have been doing that for the last 15 years. And I usually charge $20 just for one lesson. So the fact that it's $20 one-time payment to access all headrush rigs now and in the future, I think it's pretty cheap. So if you want to help support me, go ahead and click the link down below. You'll see the Ultimate Access bundle there. If you don't want to buy the full bundle and you just want the rigs, or you want the headrush tone sculpting course, which is now $76 instead of $97 or whatever it was before. I did lower the price just a little bit because I was going to offer the tone sculpting rigs within the headrush course, but now I just separated it out. So if you just want the rigs, you can buy that for $20. If you want all the videos that go behind the scenes and how every single amp and effect and mic and cab work, then you can get that course as well. So my phone is freaking out. But anyway, that's just a short advertisement for my website and my teaching through that medium. Okay. I do appreciate all you guys watching and sticking with me. I've been going through all my old videos and updating the descriptions. And I first released a headrush video in October of 2017. So it's been a long time. It's been a long journey. And I love everything headrush. They just sound great. I love the touch screen. I don't care if you're a Helix guy or a Kemper guy or the new Fractal FM9 stuff. Everything nowadays sounds great. But to me, it just comes down to form factor, the ease of use. And you can hear in my recording that I did tonight on the live stream, I got great tones. Very fast, very easy. I didn't have to muck around with a bunch of different parameters and stuff. You just find the amps you like, find the cabs or the IRs that you like, and just start playing. That's really the whole goal, is just play, and not tweak and tweak and tweak. Okay? Check it out. Things for this up. Yeah. Yeah. Just checking comments here. Greg is the man. You are right, Bill. He's the man. But thank you. It was invaluable to me. I appreciate. Glad it was helpful. And whether you choose to stick with your LT or you look into getting a headrush, maybe a MX5 or a gig board or a pedal board, you can't go wrong with any of them. It's just a matter of which size version do you want, because this is a great thing, is they did not skimp at all. They, as in headrush, didn't skimp when they made the MX5. They kept all the same horsepower, all the same guts under the hood as far as processing goes. So you're not limited at all as far as DSP and the amount of effects you can add into a rig, regardless of which headrush product you have. So that's great. I know some of the Helix stuff that I have, the HX Effects and also the HX Stomp, you do hit limits on your DSP depending on which effects that you put into the preset. And that's just one thing I appreciate about the headrush. They're always thinking ahead and giving us as much horsepower as we need to do everything that we want live and in the studio. So MX5 is $399. Their PitFun 17. And if you don't mind, I do have headrush Sweetwater affiliate links in the description if you're here in the US. If you're over somewhere across the pond, then just buy it from wherever you want. But if you are in the US and plan on ordering anything through Sweetwater, I do appreciate you clicking through my affiliate links first and then making your purchase. And that definitely helps a little bit each time you make a purchase through my links, to just help support me, what I do here on the channel. Yeah, Charlie, it's been fun. I think this was good. I didn't really know what I was gonna do tonight, but somebody made a comment earlier this week or last week sometime about just metal stuff. So I was like, all right, let's just go ahead and dive in and see what we can do. I will go ahead and get these rigs uploaded to the website tonight. So like I said, go check out the website, look up the Headrush Tone Sculpting rigs. That is now available for $20, one-time fee, and you get all rigs now and into the future. There is a new update coming very soon. I have no idea when the actual release date is going to be, but when that gets released, just know that I will be updating my Headrush Tone Sculpting course with all new amps and whatever else is added. Amps, who knows if amps are added? Who knows? But everything that's new that's added, I will be updating that course and making more videos showing you the ins and outs of everything that's new and how to integrate it into your own setup, and just kind of fill the gap in knowledge that we all have. We're always learning new things, and I do really appreciate everyone watching and just supporting me over the years. And my website and courses are just another way for you to help grow as a musician, get deeper knowledge of all things guitar and recording and music theory, and just helping me grow this thing and, teach, which is a passion that I have. So, metal rigs. Yes, you do, Tom. All right, guys. Y'all have a great night. I'm Doctor McFarland, and I will see you in the next video. Keep rocking.